Hello, welcome or welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz and I will be guiding you on this journey today. I keep feeling called to make a little intro. I don't know, like it kind of almost feels like setting expectations. I'm not even, honestly, it keeps like cycling through my brain though to do it. And I feel like that alone is reason enough, to listen to it. So I'm not going to take any card. I'm just going to shuffle and I'm just going to blab for a second. I'm not going to take any cards that come out though, because this is going to be the intro for all 24 readings that I do, because I cannot repeat myself that many times. Like I will legitimately implode. So, tarot for me has always been a way of organizing my thoughts and feelings. When I first got into tarot myself, like some big life things happened. And I needed to organize my thoughts. I needed to organize my feelings, and which is very Virgo moon of me with my Cancer rising, right? It's like, that the over analyzing, write everything down. And literally that's what I did. I had a whole notebook, and I had a page dedicated to every single tarot card. And I went through every tarot deck I had at the time and I wrote down the keywords. I was watching tarot videos on YouTube myself. And anytime somebody would say something about a specific card that resonated with me or was like, ooh, that's actually a really cool perspective or way of like understanding that card or combination of cards. And I would write it down in my little notebook. And then I kind of expanded from there and started giving friends and family tarot readings. But anyway, all of that is to say, right? Like I'm not psychic. I'm not claiming to be psychic. I do know these cards and I trust the cards that come out. I trust the order that they do. I trust the message that is being given to me. So funny. There's the Queen of Swords. And also, that's why I explain each card, because it's definitely part of my own processing, but also giving you information on the cards so that you can use your own discernment. You can check in with your own intuition, because we all have it. And maybe I'm not saying what is coming through for you about a specific card, but that is very much a message for you to honor. So definitely pay attention to that, right? Like definitely pay attention to any type of whispers, feelings, just things that are dropping into your consciousness as you are watching these readings, because no doubt that is a message for you. I'm more than likely not predicting necessarily anything for you. I am probably confirming what you already know to be true in your situation. But also that is very important, right? Because, if you have confirmation that, again, right, like your thoughts, your feelings, the experience, the circumstance that you're going through right now is actually what is going on, then it almost like frees up the energy. It frees up some mind space, some consciousness, almost even like opens your receptors to what's next. Like, okay, that is true. I don't have to necessarily focus on that so much anymore and kind of, spin my wheels on that. But yeah, so again, right? I mean, I may not be predicting anything for you. It's interesting because like, I don't necessarily think that's like my purpose right now, but at the same time, like I do feel like that's changing a little bit for me. And I'm keeping my receptors open, right? Like I'm welcoming the energy however it is going to change, if it does. who knows? So yeah, like I said, I'm here to confirm things. I mean, who knows? Possibly predict shit. But where I thought there was, okay. Like I thought there I saw a card that was turned over. And ultimately allow energy to flow. So anyway, I think that is all that I want to say. For the time being, I can't tell you. I have no clue if I'm going to repeat something similar in the next series of videos. I mean, I don't know. Honestly, it's interesting. We'll see what happens. We go where the energy takes us as long as it feels good. And it did. So we did it. And with that, we're going to get into the readings. Also, before we both forget, hit that subscribe button. Just go ahead and do it. Hit the like button. Leave a comment would be cool too. But yeah, okay. With that being said, let's get into the readings. Taurus, welcome. So yeah, I forget. I already kind of did the intro thing. So I'm like, what do I do with myself? Anyway, so again, this is a reading for Taurus, wherever Taurus shows up in your chart. I don't have a plan for the spread, so I'm just kind of taking the cards that come out for Taurus. We have the Eight of Wands. We have the Four of Wands. And I don't take the cards that flip in the deck. All my cards know this. We've had this conversation multiple times, but I need commitment. They've got to come out of the deck. I won't take them if they just flip in the deck. Maybe just a couple more. Anything else for Taurus? All right. So we have the Eight of Wands, Four of Wands. Empress came out like kind of sideways, but then we have the High Priestess, 2. Knight of Swords, Five of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Hierophant. Huh. I love that your card came out in your reading. Aries card came out in their reading too. So that's cool. Love to see that. I don't know. I just think it's cool, like when your own energy like shows up in the reading. Not to mention we do have the Hierophant back here, a couple cards back, but nonetheless, I'm sure we'll probably get around to talking about those. But this really does it feels like something that you have been manifesting for some time is coming in. And that would probably have something to do with community, celebration. Something too that maybe you're even creating or feel creative about. It's interesting, like with this Eight of Wands, because the Eight of Wands is usually, it's fast moving. Wands are action, motivation, creativity, passion. How are you communicating those things? What actions are you taking towards those things? I also see wands as being information by way of experience, because that's what we get by trying things, right? Like we figure out what works. We figure out what doesn't work. What do we like? What don't we like? What stays, what goes, right? And truly, the only way to really like figure those things out is by trying shit, putting yourself out there. So, like I was saying, with this Eight of Wands, it's interesting because we have this tornado here, right? And I mean, tornadoes are like chaotic, they're destructive. I keep also too, like with this specific card, I don't know if you've seen that. I think it's a meme where there's an image on the left, that's like a 2D drawing of a spiral, kind of like looking at it from, above or whatever, right? 2D. And the other one next to it is like a, like a cylinder or like a, why is the word escaping me now? Whatever. But under the spiral, it says, don't spiral, evolve. Right? So like, instead of just kind of spinning your wheels, it's allowing yourself to change. Also to, this girl is so like worried just on her face, right? And I know like Tauruses have this reputation of having a hard time with change. I'm a Taurus sun myself, so I get it. Also, Uranus is in Taurus right now. I think it's at the later degrees. I know it was like coming up to my Chiron. Like I have my sun and Chiron conjunct in Taurus, which is fun. Not really, about as fun as that could be. But truly, I mean, because like when we're thinking of tornadoes, right? You've seen the movie Twister, right? Like the original movie, right? Like how fast it can change trajectory, or, it can change paths quickly. And, Uranus is that planet that, it's the unexpected, it's, sudden change, being a little bamboozled. So whatever this is, right? I mean, it could feel like a whirlwind. And, these 8 wands are up in the air, but she does have control of them. So it's kind of like, feel the fear, do it anyway type of thing. Like focus on the thing that's in front of you, not on the tornado, because she's not looking at the tornado, right? She's looking at the 7 wands that are in the air. The 8th one is in her hand. The 7 of wands is about self-defense, standing your ground, maybe being stubborn a little bit. And again, right, Taurus has a reputation for being stubborn. But also, like, I don't know, I feel like I can agree with those things. But also, like, I can move really fucking fast when I'm ready, or like when I do have enough information. And also, too, if there was a tornado behind me, you bet your bucko that I'm going to be skirting my way, like, I'm going to be moving my hind. So yeah, I mean, there could just be something that, maybe it puts a pressure on you. Maybe it doesn't feel bad though. It doesn't feel like chaotic or destructive. It just feels like the universe, God, your higher self, life, literally life in general, knowing that you need that nudge in order to move. Because there's been so many times in my life where life will literally, if you're not taking the hints, if you're not, if you're just kind of like ignoring it, then it will kind of start putting that pressure. And also too, it's like what it is moving you towards is this celebration, community, feeling supported. The Four of Wands is about stability and having a firm foundation. We can see these people, even their cats, right? Like celebrating, being on the same page, heading in the same direction. Maybe they all helped, each other get to this place. Festive. It really, it's like finding your tribe, finding your people. You guys are on the same page. You have the same values, the same morals, the same beliefs, the same motivation, right? Like you want to take actions towards the same thing. Harmony, union. And I love that we have the Empress card here too, because this is literally the card of creation. She's pregnant. The Empress is usually pregnant in this card. It doesn't have to specifically be, like biological reproduction, unless you want it to be. Absolutely. If you have been on that path, then this would be a good omen for that. Finding the right resources or people or help or whatever, and, finding success with that. If it is not that, then literally, this is like birthing something you have created into the world. It could literally be like your own glow up. It could be, your own, I keep hearing glow up, and vulnerability keeps going through my head. This is a divine feminine too. This whole thing feels very like feminine. It doesn't have to be that you are, feminine by quote unquote gender. But just in the sense of, when we think divine feminine, we think nurturing, we think intuition, we think receiving, we do think reproduction, the ability to create and recreate something in your life. It could be opportunities, it could be connections, right? It could be, like, again, being open to receiving abundance too, because there's plenty of fruit on these trees. The animals are all happy, feeling protected, feeling supported. So if you do find yourself in this whirlwind, whatever that is, know that like what it is guiding you towards is this beautiful, Four of Wands and Empress. And like I said, with a High Priestess, this is definitely, it feels like fate. It's like, the planets aligned in just such a way, right, where this is possible, that this is all coming together for you. I love that in this card, she's got a tarot spread out there. She's got some runes. She's looking in the crystal ball here. The High Priestess is your direct connection to your star player, your higher self, intuition, 2, 3, 4. This, progression that's happening here. And there's like all these books back here. It's like having the information. And like I said, this whole thing could be something that you have been trying to manifest. Maybe you have been trying to manifest people that are more in alignment with you, because they exist. And also too, just how much it's going to add to your life. Like the sense of fulfillment. And then, like I said, we had the Knight of Swords, the Five of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, the Hierophant. Yeah, the Knight of Swords, right? They're literally flying into the storm here. Like, look at this cat on their broom. They're like, it could be a person. It could be a person that you meet that gets that ball rolling. And with this Four of Wands and Five of Swords, it almost kind of feels like The first thought that I got is that maybe you're used to the Five of Swords energy because it's definitely, competitive. The Five of Swords for me is a battle of wits. We can see these two people crashing out. This one person, it almost kind of seems like they are prepared. I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just kind of like taking over. I don't know. But also, this is a trio where this is a quad, right? Like, maybe the trio, like if you've had friendships where, it's you and two other people, but this friend group is going to be four people. So there's more balance there. I don't know, but that was just like my first thought is like, maybe you are used to groups or friend groups or people, just not necessarily like being safe or not necessarily being, like supportive and harmonic, right? Like they're just like envious almost. Like these two people are certainly not lifting this chick up, right? They're not like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome that you know how to do that, or whatever, like show me, like can you teach me how to do it, or like help me get to that level, right? They're like, look at her thinking that she knows everything or whatever, right? I don't know, like that's just kind of like the vibe that I was getting from that. And then with the Empress and the Ace of Pentacles, I love this. New beginnings. Pentacles have to do with worth, value, money, your health. Aces are brand new. It's just like, feeling good, feeling grounded, feeling positive about the future, confident too. You could be experiencing just a different sense of worth because truly, the caliber of people that you are around has changed. And that would also be because like your caliber of person that you are has also changed. The Hierophant, again, Taurus energy, double Taurus in here. Venus is retrograde in Aries right now. The Hierophant would be, like a mentor or, learning something new. It could be also too like an equal exchange. Like you're learning from these people, they're also, like learning from you. The Hierophant is all about passing along knowledge, wisdom, right? Like that's kind of why it kind of deals with like traditional institutions like school, religion, work, right? Because there's generally somebody who, like, this yoga instructor here that has an expertise in the thing, and they're passing that knowledge on to you. I mean, it could be a new job. This whole thing could be a new job. It could be competitive. You could beat out two other people. But also, like, those two people are not right for the role anyway. So don't even worry about, first of all, don't worry about anybody else. Like, and I don't mean that like in a bad way or whatever, but you're responsible for yourself just as much as they are responsible for themselves. And I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.